Right now, as you're watching this, millions of people are sitting on their couches, making the same promise they made yesterday: I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. And before they know it, another year has passed with nothing to show for it. But you're here. That already makes you different. The question is, are you ready to stay different? The brutal truth about modern life. We live in the most comfortable era in human history. Everything is designed for instant gratification. Hungry? Order food in minutes. Bored? Endless entertainment is one click away. Want something? Buy it now, pay later. This comfort is killing us. Our ancestors faced real challenges. They hunted for food, built their own shelters, and fought for survival. Their bodies and minds were forged by necessity. Today, our biggest challenge is choosing between Netflix shows. This isn't an accident. We've been programmed to seek the path of least resistance. But here's what nobody tells you: the path of least resistance leads to a life of least significance. 2. What self-discipline really means. Self-discipline isn't about being harsh with yourself. It's not about living like a monk or eliminating all pleasure from your life. Real self-discipline is simpler and more powerful than that. Self-discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. It's the bridge between your dreams and your reality. It's the difference between who you are and who you could become. Without it, all your goals are just daydreams. With it, you become unstoppable. Think about every successful person you admire. The athlete who trains at 5 a.m. The entrepreneur who works weekends while others party. The artist who creates every day, even when inspiration doesn't strike. They all share one trait: they've mastered themselves first. 3. The foundation. Your why must be stronger than your excuses. Before you can build discipline, you need to find your fire. Not the gentle warmth of mild interest, but the blazing furnace of absolute necessity. Ask yourself, what do you want so badly that you're willing to suffer for it? What goal burns inside you with such intensity that giving up feels impossible? Your why can't be shallow. I want to look good won't get you through the hard days. But, I want to be strong enough to play with my grandchildren will. I want to make money won't sustain you. But, I want to provide my family with opportunities one never had will carry you through any obstacle. Write down your why. Make it specific. Make it emotional. Make it so compelling that reading it fires you up every single time. For the daily battle, small wins create big changes. Here's the secret nobody wants to hear: transformation doesn't happen in grand gestures. It happens in the small, unglamorous moments when nobody's watching. It happens when your alarm goes off and you choose to get up instead of hitting snooze. It happens when you're tired but you do your workout anyway. It happens when you want to scroll social media but you read a book instead. These moments seem insignificant, but they're not. Each time you do what you said you'd do, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. Each time you break a promise to yourself, you're voting for the person you want to leave behind. Start impossibly small. Want to read more? Read 1 page a day. Want to exercise? Do 5 push-ups. Want to meditate? Sit quietly for 2 minutes. The size doesn't matter. The consistency does. 5. The power of constraints. Contrary to popular belief, constraints don't limit you, they liberate you. When you have infinite options, you're paralyzed by choice. When you have clear boundaries, you're free to act. Create constraints in your life. Decide what time you'll wake up every day and stick to it, regardless of how you feel. Choose one major goal and ignore everything else until it's complete. Set phone-free hours where you focus on real work. The ancient Spartans understood this. They had one rule that governed everything: return with your shield or on it. This constraint didn't limit them, it made them legendary. 6. Embracing the suck. Here's what separates the disciplined from the dreamers: the disciplined have learned to love discomfort. They understand that growth lives on the other side of comfort. They know that every moment of struggle is building mental muscle. They've realized that temporary pain prevents permanent regret. Start seeking out discomfort. Take cold showers. Fast for a day. Exercise until you're exhausted. Sleep on the floor occasionally. This isn't masochism, it's preparation. You're training your mind to handle whatever life throws at you. When you voluntarily face small hardships, involuntary hardships become manageable. When you choose your struggles, life's struggles choose you less often. 7. The compound effect of daily discipline. Discipline isn't about one heroic act. It's about the compound effect of thousands of small acts. It's the interest that builds on interest, the momentum that creates more momentum. A disciplined person doesn't just work out once and become fit. They work out consistently and transform their entire relationship with their body. They don't just read one book and become wise. They read consistently and develop a completely different way of thinking. The magic happens in the repetition. The first day of discipline feels impossible. The 10th day feels difficult. The 100th day feels normal. The 1000th day feels like breathing. This is why most people quit. They expect immediate results from long-term processes. They plant seeds and check for fruit the next day. But disciplined people understand that some rewards only come to those who wait, work, and persist. 8. Controlling what you can control. Life will throw you curveballs. People will disappoint you. Plans will fall apart. Markets will crash. Relationships will end. This is guaranteed. What's not guaranteed is how you respond to these events. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you react to what happens to you. This is where discipline shows its true power. Disciplined people don't waste energy on things outside their control. They don't complain about the weather, they dress appropriately. They don't blame others for their failures, they take responsibility and improve. They don't wait for perfect conditions, they create their own. Focus only on what you can influence: your thoughts, your actions, your responses, your effort, your attitude. Everything else is just noise. 9. The discipline mindset. Disciplined people think differently. They don't rely on motivation because they know motivation is unreliable. They rely on systems, habits, and identity. They don't say, "I have to work out." They say, "I'm someone who works out." They don't say, "I should read more." They say, "I'm a reader." This subtle shift in language creates a massive shift in behavior. When discipline becomes part of your identity, it stops feeling like work and starts feeling like who you are. You don't have to force yourself to brush your teeth, you just do it because that's what people do. The same can be true for any habit you want to build. 10. Building your discipline muscle. Discipline is like a muscle, it gets stronger with use and weaker with neglect. The more you exercise it, the more powerful it becomes. The good news is that discipline in one area strengthens discipline in all areas. When you become disciplined about waking up early, you also become more disciplined about your diet. When you become disciplined about exercise, you also become more disciplined about work. It's all connected. Start with one area and master it completely. Don't try to transform your entire life overnight. Choose one habit, commit to it fully, and watch how it ripples into every other area of your life. 11. The long game. Discipline isn't about quick fixes or life hacks. It's about playing the long game in a world obsessed with instant results. It's about building something that lasts while others chase what's trending. The disciplined person plants trees they'll never sit under. They invest in skills that might not pay off for years. They build relationships that compound over decades. They think like owners, not renters. This long-term thinking is rare, which is why it's so valuable. While others optimize for today, you're building for tomorrow. While others seek immediate pleasure, you're creating lasting satisfaction. 12. Your moment of choice. Right now, you're at a crossroads. You can close this video, feel inspired for a few minutes, then go back to your old patterns. Or you can decide that today is the day everything changes. You can choose to join the millions who talk about discipline but never practice it. Or you can choose to become the rare person who actually does what they say they'll do. The choice is yours, but understand this: not choosing is also a choice. Not starting is starting to fail. Not changing is changing. You're changing from someone who could have been great into someone who settled for average. Here's what I want you to do right now, before you watch another video or check your phone. First, write down one thing you've been avoiding because it's hard. Just one thing. Be specific. Second, commit to doing it tomorrow morning, no matter how you feel. Not when you're motivated. Not when it's convenient. Tomorrow morning. Third, tell someone about your commitment. Make it public. Create accountability. Finally, remember this moment. Remember how you felt right now, reading these words, knowing you could change everything if you just started. Because when tomorrow morning comes and your mind tries to negotiate, you'll need to remember why you made this commitment. The disciplined life isn't easy, but it's worth it. It's the difference between living with regret and living with pride. It's the difference between wondering, what if, and knowing, I did. Your future self is watching. What will you choose? The clock is ticking. Your life is waiting. The question isn't whether discipline works, the question is whether you'll work at discipline. Start now. Start today. Start with the next decision you make. Your transformed life begins with your next disciplined action. What will it be?